Welcome to Season 4 of Soccer Over Gotham, an NWSL podcast covering New Jersey, New York, Gotham FC, hosted by Ruby Pinto and produced by Gary Gibson. Welcome to episode 113 of Soccer Over Gotham, Tres Partidos edition. We have a great show for all of you. Gary, what do we have in this episode?
That is very on brand. I missed having you on the show.
I miss being here too. I was just thinking today, I was like, it's been probably a month.
Yes. Episode 13, 113. So it's been 3 games since we last talked. Lost in the rain in Orlando. And then we had 2 back-to-back wins. Awesome. But Ruby, so Barcelona, Lyon, PSG, Chelsea, Gotham. So Women's Club of the Year. So Gotham FC was nominated for a Ballon d'Or. I mean, just how far have we come? And then last episode, we discussed the headlines of the new CBA with Nicole Baxter. And then this episode, we're going to go talk about Gotham's free agency list. It's rare, it's large, and it's a bit scary. That's to admit it. Can't wait to talk about it. Then we have a fan vote for Hero of the Month of August. And as we all know, we have the smartest fans in the league, and they're always on point. They were right. Also, we have another new player. Gotham just keeps signing players, keeps signing good players. CC Kaiser joins Gotham, which is a bit shocking, but we'll definitely talk about that. And then Gotham is back to their winning ways, this time dispatching Houston Leighton Harrison after traveling from Costa Rica on Thursday. We'll cover both of those games, so just fans, buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Thursday games, Monday games, lots of miles. September is going to be nuts. The depth is going to be tested. We're going to look forward to all the games facing Gotham FC. I think they've got 4 in 2 weeks. It's craziness. But Ruby, how you been?
I've been great, and I am back. I'm back from vacation. So, like I told you guys before, I was going to Bolivia. So, left Bolivia, was over there for 2 weeks. It's such an incredible country. They have so much to see. I went to, particularly, I went to the Uyuni Salt Flats. It was such a dream. So good. And I also just want to thank my wife's family, who are my family too now because we're married. I just want to say thank you for making me feel so welcome and just making me feel just part of the family. I definitely cannot wait to go back. And I know they're listening to this episode because they've told me that they have listened to the podcast on the car. So I really appreciate that from them also supporting this side of me.
Yes. Thank you, extended family. Indeed. So you went to Bolivia. I think Noella went to Colombia, and I
Mhm.
went to Philadelphia. So one of
Ooh.
those is not like the others. I took my 1 week off. I had a week off where I didn't have school or work. It was craziness. I didn't know
Ooh,
what to do with myself. So I went
right?
to the Gotham game. I went to a Liberty game. Incubus was playing in Philadelphia, so I went to see them. I went hiking
Mm.
with my brother back in Duke Island Park, right next to where I used to live. So it was good to go back home for a bit and just be out in nature. I feel like I haven't seen the sun in like 3 years. But it was nice. But now I'm back in it and my brain is fried again. However,
Can't
I
wait.
made honor roll for the 3rd semester in a row. Somehow I'm finishing strong. So let's talk about some news, let's talk about CC Kaiser. This was kind of out of the blue. Admittedly, when I saw her leaving Houston, I thought that is a Gotham type player. Because I mean, if you look at like Gotham players,
Mm.
they all can play multiple positions. They're like a 4, they could be a number 10, they could be a winger. They have to be able to play multiple roles in this system because they move around a lot. There's a lot of fluidity, and CC
Mhm.
fits that role. She could be a forward, she could be a 10, she could be wide player, she can play deeper in the midfield. So she fits the role. So I was like, all right, but I don't think Gotham has the money or the spots to get her, but they got her. What do you think, Ruby?
Again, the couch that keeps on giving. Every time you
Yeah.
flip a cushion, there's more pennies. I don't know. There's dollars there, and we're able to get more players into the club and the team. So when I saw the news on Twitter, I thought it was really weird because the first part I saw that, she had been let go and no other team had picked her up. So I was like, that's so weird. she's a great player. Like, why wouldn't someone want her? And of course, because Gotham was like working in the background trying to get her. So I'm so glad she's here with Gotham. It sucks that it had to be, I don't know if she wanted to move here or not, but hopefully she's able to find a home here within the club, within the community, and, just get used to being here. I know all the fans are going to welcome her. Honestly, I cannot wait to see her play.
So listen, we talked about the CBA last episode with Nicole Baxter, and one of those things is that now trades have to be mutually with the player and the team, and CC went through it. And another player like Lynn Williams, where she was in
Mhm.
Kansas City, and then she has, well, for CC, she has family there, she has a house there, she has a life there, and then they were just like, okay, you're going to Houston next week. And she made it public that she was not happy about the trade, and she didn't seem to fit really in there over there in Houston. So I'm glad that she's here, and because she's here means that she wants to be here, which is good. And I hope that she thrives here. And she's signed through 2025, which is good. So we got her at least a year and a half. So I'm excited about it. She's again another player that, I mean, gosh, you can bring off the bench and play multiple positions, and yeah, she's a finisher. I'm just super excited about it. Can't be more
Yeah.
happier.
Yeah, me too.
So Ruby, she's joining not a regular team anymore. We're not a regular team anymore. We're not only a championship team, but we're up for Women's Club of the Year, which is crazy. Look at that. Look at that grouping that we're in. Barcelona's, the Chelsea's. Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think?
This is so crazy because when you think about it, not just like 2 years ago, like Gotham was this team that was on last place. 2 years before that, it was a team that really nobody wanted to come and play for. And now here we are, like Gotham is nominated for this amazing award in women's club soccer of the year. It's amazing.
Yeah, in such a short period of time. And again, all the credit goes to Yael Averbuch. Amazing job that she's done with this club. Before that, even though it was rebranded and they were starting to get momentum, but it just was to be fair, it was a mess. It was an absolute mess. And Yael has put in so much work. She's brought in a great team with her, and this team is completely turned around. And now it's a team that everybody wants to play for. And even this season, we'll probably get into it, but this is the best
Yeah.
season in franchise history so far.
Yeah, that's
Just awesome.
true.
Everything
I
is going
Yeah,
well.
that's true. They really changed their reputation within the league, within the players, everything. Even people that play in other countries, play international, like are here for a reason.
Yeah, indeed. One of our players, Kelly O'Hara, announced her retirement earlier this season, which is a bummer, but we understand. But she's going to play her last game last regular season game, October 20th, and they're going to have a retirement night. And I'm sure it's going to be awesome. And just thank you, Kelly.
Man, another player that's retiring. It's kind of sad because, I don't want to say I grew up because I was already like in my 20s, but like those are the players that I would like watch all the time, and now they're retiring. Those are like the players I fell in love with, like the US women's national team, like how they played and everything. And now they're retiring, so it's kind of sad. But I mean, we understand they that had long careers, successful careers, so I bet they just want to like start a new chapter. And whatever it is, I hope that, that part of their life, that chapter of their life, it's successful as well.
Kelly's one of those players that's like larger than the sport kind of players. Her personality is amazing, and
Yeah.
she's a player that's easily recognizable wherever you go. And she put her stamp on this sport, and I can't wait to send her off. And she's already got one chance at a trophy in the Summer Cup. That I'm excited about. Let's get her one more. Let's get her at least one trophy before she leaves. She deserves it, and I'm glad that she's doing it here in New Jersey, New York. Now, the CBA, we talked a little bit more about it last episode, but one of the parts of the CBA is that all players with a contract that ends is now considered a free agent. Last year, it was like if you had 3 years in, you were like partial free agent, but if you're over that, now it's all free agency, which is amazing and it's awesome. But Gotham is staring down a very, very long and scary free
Mhm.
agency list. We're going to go through a couple of them. The ones we're going to skip over are Sinead, because obviously she's retiring because of her concussions. And then we have Svava, who's 99% chance not being with this club next
Mystery.
year. Her contract ends in January, so I assume that's the end of it there. I don't know, but that's what it seems like. She's still officially on this roster. So there's that. We'll skip Kelly O'Hara because she's retiring as well. But let's go over some of them. The first one is like super scary, and that is Anne-Katrine Berger. We only have her to the end of the season, and that makes me very, very nervous.
Wait, when Carter was signed until what year?
I think 2026. Yes, I
I
think
think
she's here for like
25 with
two.
an option of 26, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So if this is true, I think she'll probably do the same thing, like sign up one more year with an option for another.
Yeah, I don't see why Gotham has the money in the roster space. I don't see why they would not. She seems to be happy here, and she's having an incredible year for
I
not.
know.
Yeah,
It would be crazy if they don't secure her for at
yeah,
least another 2 years, honestly. Like, she is the best keeper right now in the league, in my opinion.
yeah. Germany Footballer of the Year, first goalkeeper since like 1980 something, before we were born, I'm sure. But yeah, so then we have Michelle Betos, which if we have roster spot for her, she's the most New York player on the roster. She could, as long as we have roster spot for her, I think she's going to stay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Then we'll jump over to Mandy Freeman. This one hurts a little bit because we all love Mandy Freeman here. One of my favorite moments covering this team was winning the championship, seeing Cloud9 like chanting her name and seeing her crying. She's been so much a part of this group, and she's the longest tenured player on this club. We love her. She's very New York, New Jersey. She embodies everything about this club. You can't have too many Mandy Freemans in this league, and I hope that she signs long term. I hope.
Yeah, me too. And honestly, like, she's such a great player as well. I love her, like, crosses and her long balls. Sometimes they're so precise, and I'm like, sometimes that's really hard to do. So, she loves skipping lines, like, when she, like, kicks those balls, making it go to the front, giving the team the opportunity to score. Gives them great chances to score, actually. I think she even had she has maybe, like, 1 or 2 assists? I gotta look that up,
Yeah,
but she's really good.
she set up the goal in the last game, and she's proven that she can play different positions now, and she looks
Yeah,
good as an outside back. So she's useful in many different areas. The player that if you have a roster spot, hopefully again, Gotham do the right thing.
right.
Then we'll jump over to Sam Hyatt. I was surprised that she's only signed to the end of the year, but another player that's come in, shown versatility. She's shown that she fits in. I
Mm,
like her a lot. My thing is with her is that she can start in this league. Does she want to
mhm.
sit behind, three Sonnet, Davidson, Lopez, all them? Who knows? But I would obviously who wouldn't want her here?
Honestly, I'm kinda surprised we don't play her more minutes. I mean, like you said, we have so much talent, so it's just hard. Yeah, I don't know. I think every player, it's in the league because they wanna play, not sit, so maybe she'll find somewhere else to go play.
We're jumping some really interesting ones, which is my Tani Lopez. Obviously, so grateful for her last season. She stepped in as a defensive midfielder, jumped into center back alongside of Krieger and played amazing. And she fit in and she gets along with everybody on the team. And she's a fantastic player. My question for you, Ruby, is now that Neely Martin has solidified the defensive midfielder spot, and we now have Hyatt, we have Sonnet, we have Davidson, we have other center backs. What do you think? What do you think her role is with this team?
Oh, it's giving me the hard questions here
Right?
because yeah, because first of all, I really like Montane. Like you said, when she came in last year, she stepped up and she helped this club win a championship, and I've grown to like her. So I don't want to put my emotions into this because if I answer that with my emotions, I'll tell you I want her to stay because, like when you think of a starter, you'll think of Maitane. But if I'm being honest, I don't. I think there's other players that are better than her. I'm not saying that she's not good. She's really good, but I don't think she has shown that enough this season.
Yeah, I'd say the ball is in her court. I think if this team can sign her long term. Why wouldn't you do it? But it's up to her if she thinks that she should be getting starting minutes somewhere, then maybe she leaves. But other than that, I think we should. You can't have too many My Tiny Lopez's on your team. So next one is another interesting one. This one is Midge Purse. So Midge Purse she's proven that she's not only a star on the field, but she's also now a star off the field. Now she's producing a show that's coming out soon, the offseason official. She's a real life superstar. She spoke at the White House. She's just an incredible person with multi-talented. Does Gotham have the resources to pay Midge Purse long term to keep her here? I hope they do.
I really hope they do too.
Mhm.
Mitch Purse has done a lot of great things for Gotham, but I don't think she has even peaked at Gotham. Once she reaches that peak, I think she'll be unstoppable. It's just so unfortunate that she has had these injuries that have kept her from playing. But yeah, I hope she really stays here with Gotham.
I think about like every game, at least one time, I'm like, gosh, imagine Midge Purse on this team.
Yeah.
Adding Midge Purse to this roster is just insane. So I hope they do, and I hope that's a long term contract and they pay her whatever she wants. Next
Yep.
one is another player that I think Gotham needs to pay her whatever she wants because she's the heart of this team and the engine of this team, and that is Delaney Sheehan. Gotham again, do the right thing.
My God, she has grown so much into the game,
Uh-huh.
into her game. And, this is another player that has improved so much with Gotham. Just a couple years ago, she was not even getting any minutes. We were lucky if we would see her playing. And
Mhm.
now she's been so consistent, like starting almost every game. She's such a great player. She needs to stay.
Yeah. For a player that I still remember to this day, it was last season. At the beginning of the season, I was putting together like a mock lineup for the team, and Nicole Baxter chimed in saying, don't sleep on Delaney Sheehan."
Mhm.
I'm looking at this roster. I'm like, where does she fit in this roster? But she fits on this roster, and she's been the most minutes of any player on the roster. She fits exactly what the coach wants her to do. As you said, she's getting a little bit better each time. She's been good. Yeah, I think it would be a mistake for this team to not sign her long term.
Yeah. And she's a goal scorer, Gary.
That's true. It's true. Got to remember that. And then last one is McCall Zerboni, which is another interesting one because last season she was on the free agency list, and I thought for certain that she was because she just got injured. I was like, maybe is she going to stick around? Is Gotham going to invest resources in her? As a 36-year-old coming off an ACL injury, but it seemed what McCall wants, she gets. And she was sticking around the team in the offseason doing all like the press events, even though she wasn't on this roster. So it seemed like in her mind that there was no other option, but she was going to make it back onto this team. And they signed her, and she returned from injury, and she's been spectacular.
Mhm.
Just some of the best football of her career, and she looks awesome. And for me, it's like as long as she wants to be here and Gotham has a roster spot for her, keep it
Yeah.
going.
You said 36. She's 36. She does not look 36 when she's playing out there.
Nope.
Like, she's playing, like, I think the best we've seen her with Gotham so far. She's just been amazing with this club, and yeah, like, why not, like, keep her here, 1 or 2 years or whenever she wants to retire. She's been really, really good. Like you said, even after coming injury, like, she's given, like, 110%. Even, like, after a surgery, like, she was already, like, walking, training, like, really early on in like, after the surgery. I was like,
Mhm.
"She is really determined." She was
Mhm.
really determined to come back into this team and play.
I want to make a correction, real time correction on the show. Calls 37. Sorry.
There you go, 37.
Yeah, incredible. Let's go, McCall. So let's jump over to let's go talk about the fans. The fans are the best in the league. They're the smartest fans in the league. They voted Stevens as the hero of the month of August. Not only that, she was named NWSL Player of the Month in August. So they were dead on. And obviously, I imagine you agree with the fans.
Of course, I agree. I mean, Stevens is another I feel kinda like an underdog because nobody, like, saw her coming, and look
Mm.
look at her now.
Yeah, yeah, she's She's one of those players that's just like, there's so many players like her in this league that just need a chance to shine and find the right system in the right place. And I think specifically for Gotham FC, you can tell Ella is creative, and she, as the coach said, she's dancing when she's playing. And I think this was the right system for her to like exercise her creativity and take players on and find spaces, and and just be more herself. So I think that's really where she's shining. And we do have plans to have her as an interview her soon, so we will get her on the show soon. I can't wait to talk to her. But yeah, she's been amazing so far, and she had 2 goals, I think, and 2 assists over that month. Yeah, I think she was awesome. So it's been a couple of games. So we're going to go through a couple of these games quickly. Any thoughts on the Orlando game?
The only thing I really want to say about that game is I was really upset, and it was such a shame that Gotham didn't win that game, or at
Mhm.
least tied that game against Orlando, because they have the players and they have the talent to beat that team. I don't know what happened that day to them. It was just not the Gotham we're used to seeing. And yeah, I think they do have the players to win. I don't know. It had to be like a mental side coming into the game. Like they get freaked out. What happened? I don't know what happened, but yeah. Honestly, you cannot wait to the next game, the next time they play Orlando.
We talked about this earlier before the podcast, but this is like one of those like coaches games where you look at the statistics and you're like, okay, other than like obviously the scoreboard, you're looking, okay, we held possession, we were in their zone most of the time. And I feel like in a way, I'm kind of glad about it that the media, I feel like they got it wrong, and I'm okay with it because I feel like you look at the scoreline and you go, okay, Orlando won 2-0. They just dominated and they're just too good for everybody. But if you look at that game, Gotham was in their half for most of that game. I think Gotham had 16 shots to Orlando's 12. They had 6 corners to Orlando's 3. They had 30 touches inside Orlando's 18 to only 19 for Orlando. I think Gotham had 170 passes in Orlando's half, and Orlando only had 96 passes in Gotham's half. So they were pinned in for most of this game. And I think that the main stat that separated these two teams was shots on target.
Hmm.
And Gotham only got 2 of their 16 shots on target,
Hmm.
and 2 of them were blocked, which means 12 shots were off target, uncontested, off target. And Gotham just did not have their scoring boots. And there was a couple of times where Esther had Morehouse beat, Ryan had Morehouse beat to the far post. And it's just not being clinical and finishing doomed to this team. And so I'm looking at this game as a whole and I'm like, Gotham did pretty well. I don't think they deserved the win, but I think they did enough to get at least a draw out of this game. And obviously, Anne Katrine's a weird mistake that she made early on in the game, which gave up the goal. But I'm taking a lot of positives in this game. And I'm like you, Ruby. I can't wait to see Orlando again. And it's going to be at home. Let's take it to them.
Oof.
Let's end that streak. So I'm actually kind of like rooting for Orlando to I want to beat them and I want to end their streak.
I was really hoping for that to happen in the first game, but I guess if we get a second chance, they better not like let it go. They gotta take advantage of it.
Yeah, it was a different lineup for Gotham in a way that they dumped all of their national team players that were healthy onto the pitch. And we haven't done that this season.
Mhm.
So it could also have been that too. They're just not used to playing with each other as much. Could have been. But again, I wanted a shot at them. I think we learned a lot. And yeah, I think we're going to get them. But let's jump to the first ever CONCACAF Champions Cup group stage match. This was last Thursday in Costa Rica against the league winner. And then Gotham essentially needed to put that poor performance from Orlando in the rear view and just take care of business. And I think after putting all the available national teamers on the pitch, they went back to flexing some depth. So we had Esther up top, we had Stengel and Bruninha on the wings, Bruninha on the wings, which was interesting. We had Zerboni, Torres, and Sheehan in the middle. Sheehan was in the 6. Zerboni and Torres were the 8s, which is another interesting lineup little wrinkle. And then we had Nicewanger, Sonnet, Martin, and center back, and then Freeman on the right back, and then Miller back in goal. Just your thoughts on this turned around lineup?
So yeah, this is a weird lineup. We really don't see them play in this formation. Usually we're like used to seeing Martin in the six where Sheehan was and maybe a Sonnet and Davison pairing. It was weird, but I think what the coach wanted to do here is just give some players that don't get a lot of minutes in going into this new tournament with the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Yeah, haven't really loved Martin as a center back so far. She's played a couple times there this season, but she played really well in this one. So there's definitely progress there. I actually really do love Bruninha, just unfettered and just playing up top where she doesn't worry about defensive responsibilities much. She can just fly around, take players on, and so it's an interesting role for her on the squad. So I appreciate Juan Carlos just letting her loose for a little bit. And Gotham scores, they score, and then they score again.
Yeah.
They put up in total 4 goals in this game, which is awesome. Any thoughts on like just that like opening scoring where Esther hits early? Sheehan, I think, hits in the second
Yeah,
half.
Esther, Sheehan, Stengel, and I think Ryan?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So all different goal scorers in this game. It's the first game in 2024 that they've scored at least 4 goals. Usually it's been 1 or 2 goals, and this is the first time there is, like, more than 2 goals in a game. But then again, you have to think about we are playing an international team. We're playing a team from Costa Rica. And the level is not the same as it is here in the US. So I was really expecting a win, and that's what we got. So I'm so happy that that happened. The only thing here is that I think so at times Gotham was playing at their pace instead of like them controlling the pace. That's the only thing that I was like, just play a little faster. And also, I feel a little like selfish and greedy, I guess, because I wanted a fifth goal.
This was like for the first time this season, Gotham a little bit ruthless. This was a team in Alajuelense. They were overmatched. Let's put it plainly. They were overmatched against Gotham. Gotham had a rotated lineup and they were still pushing them around the pitch. They had more pace than they had. They had better teamwork. They were passing around better than the other team. And I felt like this was the first time where just Gotham was just shooting with intention. And those 3 early goals really signaled that this team has a bounce back from that Orlando and we're getting shots on target finally. And they were getting the rewards for that. And jumping to the second half, I mean, what the last thing you want to see when you're down 3-0 against Gotham is Jessica Silva, Kelly O'Hara, Crystal Dunn, Rose Lavelle, and Yasmin Ryan coming onto the pitch in the second half. I mean, gosh,
God.
that has got to be demoralizing.
God, that must have been tough.
Yeah, you're already swimming in it, and it's like just seeing those Gotham roll these players is crazy. And one of those players, Yasmin, who was put into a defensive midfielder role, which we've not seen her do at all in these past 2 seasons. And she gets an early yellow and then follows it up with a second yellow. And she is gone for this game and the next game of the tournament. Uncharacteristic for her, but I chalk it up to just not being in a position that she's used to being in.
So 2 games? She's out?
Yeah, she's out for the following one. She's left this one, and so that stinks. But
Oh, man.
any,
I love
any
her. I love the intensity that she brings into the game, but she needs to be a little careful because, like, sometimes, like, you cannot do that in an important game. I know she didn't mean to. She needs to be a little careful there. You're just putting your teammates in a tough position. Not this game particularly because they were winning, but in other games where, the competition is harder.
Yeah, this is the second time this season she's got a red card for a little silliness. I guess they put it that way. But yeah, and these are completely different situations. The first time she entered the field a little too early, which was stupid. And then this time she got a legitimate double yellow. Yasmin has definitely stepped up this season, and her aggression is greater this season.
Mhm.
When it seems like players are afraid to put shots on target and to take shots, Yaz has definitely stepped up. And we talked this in an earlier episode where Rose was taking on players, and then Yaz finds a space and puts the ball in the back of the net. She's finding those pockets, and she's taking advantage of those moments that she's been given because we have so much talent everywhere else on the roster. So she's really close. I think she's really
Yeah.
close to taking the next step to the national team. I think she's close, but if she keeps
Like you
pushing.
said, she's really trying, and she, like,
Mhm.
shoots from anywhere. Particularly, I love when she, just shoots from outside the 18. I just love goals from outside the 18. I don't know, it's just more exciting, you don't really expect it. It's great, but and I love that she does that.
Indeed. So yeah, so Killer Instinct, and the fans said this was interesting. Nicewanger had the free kick banger was
My god.
amazing.
I think that was the other goal. I don't think it was
Yeah,
Ryan.
it was yeah. So that was amazing. So they fans chose her as the hero of the match, 2% above Esther. Do you agree?
Just because of that kick, yes. It was such a great goal. I
It
know
was tough.
Emma Hayes is looking, she's watching.
And that's another thing too. I think on that free kick, it was like you're staring down Bruninha and Nicewanger over the ball. It's like Gotham just has too many weapons. Too many weapons. Like take your pick. But yeah, I'll agree. Nicewanger was excellent in this game. She left early, but she still put her stamp on the game. And then let's talk about our final game of the week, which is another win. This one was a little dicey for a while, but we got there. Esther again up top, a Stangle and Dunn on the right side. Sheehan, Ryan, and Martin, my favorite three midfielders, like the trio. Then Swanger, Davidson, Sonnet, and Carter at right back, Berger back in goal. Your thoughts on this lineup?
Here we go. This is my kind of lineup.
Yeah.
Davidson, Sonnet, Martin, and Six. Yeah, so this is more my style. The only difference, the Carter, she hasn't really played with Gotham. She just got here not too long ago, but so far so good with her.
Excellent. The first game she played, was it the Chelsea game? Yeah, I think the Chelsea game. We got to talk to her after the game, and she was like, "I'm not quite fit yet. I don't know like what my role is going to be, and this whatever." She's been excellent. She underestimated herself, or at least very modest, because she's been awesome. She's been locked down as a 1v1 defender, and she's been showing off in that area. But she's been good going forward. She fits right in.
Yeah.
Gosh, we're just so happy to have her.
She has that aura just like Burger, where she's so calm on the pitch. The first time I saw her play was the first time she played with Gotham. Who did she play against? I don't remember who they were playing. But when she was playing, she was so calm. She was like at least she was probably freaking out and she was probably nervous inside, but it didn't look like it that way. She was like she would get on the ball, she was making great passes. Just love her energy.
Speaking of Yasmin Ryan and being aggressive, Esther plays this amazing. This ball was just hanging in the air for a while, and Esther's tracking back, flick on to Ryan, who gets through, beats Houston's keeper early on in the game. What a goal from her! What a
Oof.
statement to make! And Gotham is on the front foot. Then nobody's watching Ordonez at the back post. The ball gets through on a cross, and she puts one in the back of the net. And for the rest of the half, Gotham looks like a team that has just played in Costa Rica 3 days before. They're just a little bit sluggish. They're losing the ball. I mean, they're still pressing and they're still getting high up the pitch, but they just didn't look out of. They looked out of shape, and their passing was not good. Just your thoughts on just the sluggishness of Gotham coming out of this game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to make it an excuse that they had to travel to Costa Rica and come back for that game. But like you said, you could tell they were like a little sluggish. They looked tired, and it's understandable. Like you said, it was really uncharacteristic of like Carter just like not watching her back because Ordonez was kind of like towards her back and she didn't like see her. She was nobody on her and she scored. I think on the second half, I also noticed something really similar where she was not watching whoever was behind her and they almost scored again. It didn't happen. But this game was actually, I thought was really entertaining because it was a lot of back and forth from both teams. I think it was, they both like pretty much gave everything out there. It was entertaining for me, that game. I really liked it.
What made it really interesting and really entertaining was Tarsian. This is the first time in a long time where like there was an absolute villain on the field.
Oh my god.
She was taking silly fouls. She went. I'm surprised. I had to go look at this again, but she came across Davidson with either a shoulder or an elbow, and like took her out and gave her like concussion protocols type thing, and you seemed to catch her from like a blind side. But she was causing a lot of havoc. She's an incredible player. She's an excellent defender. She's just an excellent player. But it was just like this is the first time where like I heard the entire crowd just booing one player every time she did anything. So that was fun and good on her for being that kind of player.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it just brought the intensity up, and I really like that, like, "Hey,
Mhm.
like, now, like, hey, you don't come and do this in our home." So, like, you tried, like, to do your best out there, and you're not gonna let no one, like, from any other team come to your home and just, like, do the things she was doing. So but like you said, it was really entertaining, like, just the people booing and it makes the game so much more interesting.
And then you get to the second half. And then, I mean, again, we talk how ridiculous these subs are. Gotham brings on Lynn Williams, brings on Mandy
Ooh,
Freeman, brings on Kelly O'Hara, brings on Jessica Silva, and also Taryn Torres. Jessica Silva goes out for, I believe, a head injury, but I think she's okay. But we'll see. And then McCall Zerboni comes in, and when you need to close out a game, you bring in McCall Zerboni. But I think these subs made an incredible impact on this game, especially Mandy Freeman. I thought she looked awesome. And that ball over the top that sparked Lynn Williams getting through, finding Esther
yep.
for the final goal was just chef's kiss, just amazing, perfectly placed. Well done,
Telling
Mandy.
you, she's an expert at those. Just love it, and
Yeah.
E Esther is back. Like, she's showing out for Gotham now. I know she was out for some time because of her injury and her surgery that she had on her toe.
Mhm.
So, now that she's back, we have that spark back. She just looks so hungry for goals, and I think so far she has 3 in the season.
As far as a complete body of work, I think this was possibly her best performance for Gotham overall. She sometimes will draft too far back, and like there's like different types of strikers, and like the most common ones are there are some strikers like you'll look at Holland, who like doesn't care if he gets two touches on the ball, as long as one of them goes in the back of the net, he's cool, right? And then there's some forwards like center forwards who like have to be on the ball and they want the ball, and Esther wants the ball all the time.
Mhm.
So she does if she's not getting the ball right away, she's going to drift back, she's going to jump into the midfield, she'll jump all the way back to the defensive line to get on the ball. But in this game, she stuck to playing up top, and that really pushed Houston's defense back. She was able to find those spots, and you saw her game intelligence in the right spot, the right time. What a ball from Lynn Williams to get it across, and what a cheeky finish! And yeah, what a raucous crowd. We were in that building because how much this ref. All right, we'll get to the ref later, but the crowd was so into this because we were just booing Tarcian, just booing the
Mhm.
ref, and to get that goal just such a release for this crowd. Again, if there was a roof on that stadium, it would have came off. So what a relief to get that win, and I think Gotham deserved it. And yeah, so there we are. And so let's talk about any player notes for this game at all.
No, just my thoughts on Esther pretty much sums it up. Like, she's back, she's here, and she's scoring.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about this season is the freedom that Bruninha is playing with. And she's been all over the pitch and she's finding these little pockets. And one of my favorite things that's been happening a little bit more often is she's finding her way up to like a left wing. And her and Nicewalker have just been working the ball around defenders. And it's just so
Mhm.
much fun to watch them two play because they're both like small, but like quick. And then Bernini can like take on three defenders and draw their attention. And then this frees up Jenna to just bang balls across to give her that little bit of space. And it's been just really fun to watch. We absolutely love Bernini. And final thoughts. This one was fun. So this was one of our first almost ties, and it was Esther winning the hero of the match by 7.7%. It was 41% Esther, and then second place was booing this ref because wow, like as a point of purpose, I don't talk about the refs at all. I maybe talk about the refs about once a season at most because refs are human, and I always think that like I don't know. Whenever you're losing, you blame the refs, right? Everybody thinks the refs are against them. I get it. And most of the time, it's not quite the case. But this time, this ref was getting under the skin of every single fan in this arena, just giving Houston every single little call. And Tarcian was just had this ref in her pocket. She would just bump herself into a player, fall down, and get a foul. It was rough. And I was so happy to get this again. So happy to get this win, just because when you have Houston playing the way they did, Tarcian the villain, this ref being a villain himself, it was a good release.
Is this our first time playing Houston, or we played them already in the season?
I think we played them earlier. I'll just double check that.
Because if there's another game, that's gonna be really
No,
fun to
we're
watch.
done with Houston.
Okay.
We went to
Boo.
Houston early. We beat the summer heat. I remember that. Usually we play Houston like right in the middle of summer, and in Houston it's like 110 degrees.
Oof.
But we got them in like May or something where it wasn't too bad. Yeah, that's what it was. But man, that was rough. Do you have any stats for this game?
No, I didn't look at any stats.
Okay. There was a really crazy stat, and I don't know how this escaped me because I'm such a nerd. It was 36, I think 36 completed accurate long balls, which is a lot. I think one of the games, I think it was the San Diego game, there was like 24 long balls completed in total, and that's with Seattle, which is also another team that likes long balls. So I was checking this out. I'm like, is this normal for Gotham? This can't be. But Gotham is leading the league in accurate long balls. So this season, Gotham is playing the ball long more, and I'm sure it helps that Berger is just has has a complete range of the entire field out of the back. But Gotham does seem to be, when they want to win the ball high, or if they do not, they win the ball on their end and they want to play the ball long, just to, in a way, it's like it doesn't really matter if it's accurate or not, because like it just pushes the other team back, and Gotham just wants the other team to start in their end. So they're going to get the ball in their defensive end, play it long. If they hit Esther in the feet, cool. If they don't, it just gets them a long throw in, keeps them back in their end, and they can start their press again. So I just thought that was really interesting. That was a lot of long balls.
That is really interesting. And I like long balls. I just said this about Mandy Freeman. She's really
Yes,
good at it.
it is true. And then this season so far, let's just get into it. But this season is the best start in franchise history. This is the most points that Gotham has gotten in an entire season, which is awesome. 37 is a lot. Then this is 11 wins, which is the most this club has ever got.
Mm-hmm.
They've had 10 wins 2 or 3 times, but this is the first time at 11 wins, and we got 7
Oof.
games to go. Right now, Ellis Stevens is leading the team in goals. So it's been an interesting season. Your thoughts on where Gotham is at this point?
So going back to Ella Stevens, I believe she's with 6 goals right now, top
Mm-hmm.
goal scorer for Gotham. Then we have Rosa Bell with 5, and who's the next one here? Then Jasmine Ryan with 3, and then we also have Esther Gonzalez with 3, Lynn Williams with 3, and I think that's about it for the Gotham list. It's incredible that they get all like this 11 wins within a season, breaking a record. Again, this team didn't just stop last year with the championship. Each year they're doing the work, they're making progress, and that's really nice to see within the club, within the team that is doing all of this. And like bringing the best players in the world here to play in New Jersey, New York for Gotham FC. It's amazing everything that they've been doing. They deserve this and more. Like you said, we have 7 more games to go. So again, they're just gonna keep breaking records. Hopefully, it's 7 more wins for Gotham, and that would be awesome. But hey, I'm pretty sure now that Gotham will be in the playoffs and have another chance at winning this championship.
Yeah. And we're getting players back. Lynn looks healthy again, which is awesome.
Mhm.
Speaking of Lynn Williams, according to Opta, she is second in league history in career assists at 35.
Oof.
So not only is she the most prolific goal scorer in the league history, she's almost breaking the assist record as well. Lynn is a complete player. What a player. I still can't believe we have her. Who gave it to her? Who gave her to us? Anyways, let's talk about this standings. Orlando's undefeated, right? But they are not alone up there. Like, they are not running away with this game. There's still teams that can go for the shield, which is pretty amazing considering we're this far and Orlando's undefeated. They have 47 points. Washington's having a heck of a season at 41 points in second place. Kansas City's right behind them at 38. And then there we are at number 4, 37. And then slight drop off. You got Courage at 31, Portland at 27. And then there's going to be a real fight for those last couple playoff spots. I think Orlando clinched. I mean,
Mhm.
come on. But Houston at the bottom of the league, it's interesting. What just your any random thoughts about this standings?
I was wondering if you can clinch that early into the season. It feels early to me, but we only have like a couple of months left in the this season. But Gotham remains at the number 4 spot. They've been there for a while. Like the beginning they were like here up and down, but they've been consistent in that 4th spot, but they're only 1 point away from that 3rd spot, which is where Kansas City is right now. So anything is possible. That's just 1 point, 1 draw or better, 1 win. And then 10 points away from Orlando. It's 3 wins and a draw. But again, Orlando right now, nobody seems to beat Orlando. Kind of hate that.
Yeah. We'll get him.
One more comment on the standings. I'm impressed with Bay FC because they were like bottom of the table. I don't know how they did it, but they're climbing up this table here, and they find themselves in the 7th place right now, which is, 7th place will still go to the playoffs if they stay there.
Yeah. They built a good team over there, and it was a slow start. Maybe this could be just gelling with each other, but yeah, they got some talent over there, and I think they deserve to be where they're at. They've been playing well lately, and gosh, what a bummer San Diego's been. What a bummer.
Even even
Yeah,
in the game for Alex Morgan's retirement, like how did they manage to lose? Hey, I guess it just happens.
yeah, they're on a pretty rough streak that they have not had since they started, and it has not been good since they let their coach go. It
Bad
has not been
decision,
good.
but yeah.
Yeah, indeed. All right, so this is crazy. The end of the September is going to be nuts. We have a little bit of a break. Then we're back on Monday the 16th, where Gotham is away at Seattle Reign. Then they go all the way from Seattle back home to Wednesday to play Monterey,
Oof.
and that's going to be at 7 p.m. Oh, sorry, it'll be Thursday, right?
The
The night.
19th, let me double check. Yes, a Thursday.
Okay, so Monday to Thursday. Then they play again on Sunday. So it's 3 games in 1 week, and at least 2 of them are home. So you got home against Gotham B Utah Royals. Then a team that I'm really looking forward to face. This is another team where I felt that Gotham could have beat this team, but they didn't, and I still digs at me a little bit. I want to see Gotham go into KC and take points from them. So, and we're chasing them up the standing. So let's make it happen. It's on the 28th. So it's going to be a crazy end of the month here. Stick with us. Follow us on social media because there's going to be a lot of updates, a lot of moving parts, a lot of stuff going on. Your thoughts on this next coming game against Seattle?
Against Seattle. Man, Seattle haven't been that great this year. A lot of ups and downs, but they've been winning. I think they've won the past 3 games. So they're coming in looking good. So I think the key point here for Gotham would be how good their defense is and how good their offense is. I guess both because like you said in the Orlando game, there was like so many shots, but not many shots on target. So I think we need to see more shots on target and capitalize early into the game. And then I would say at least 2 goals and then try to maintain that to win.
They are an interesting team, and they're a complete mixed bag. You just don't know what you're getting from week to week.
Mhm.
And they moved Balzer, which was surprising, and G has been excellent for them at the midfield. you know how Laura Harvey wants to play. She knows she wants to get down the flank. She knows she wants to get balls in. You know, Huerta's going to try to put 10 crosses into the box in the first half. So, but this is plays to Gotham's strengths because they own the wings. So I think Gotham should do really well here, especially with the roster that we have. In Seattle at that time of night is rough away, but I think that Gotham has enough to at least get 3 points out of this one. Then I'm excited because hopefully I don't know how we're going to do a show that week because if it's going to be a Thursday game, I don't know. We'll fit it in somewhere. But yeah, so that's going to be fun as well. I can't wait to get back into Red Bull Arena.
I know. I'm really looking forward to watching Gotham FC and Monterrey play. That's going to be a good game.
It is. So I'm looking forward to this week break. Yeah. So are you excited about this week break?
I'm excited. I feel like I need a vacation from my vacation.
That's true. All right. So we will see you next week.
Let's go.